All right, in this video, I'm going to create this image with Photoshop. But first of all, we have to export the PDF of the floor plan, okay, from Revit or whatever software that we are using. Okay, if you are using Revit, I'm going to show you how to export your floor plan in case you don't already know that. If you already know that, just skip to the next chapter where I'll tell you what a seamless texture is. I'm just going to hit Ctrl P on my keyboard. Okay, Ctrl P on my keyboard. Okay, but before you do this, you have to ensure that you have this is my crop region. You can see it is around this floor plan. If it is not around the floor plan, it is not going to give you, a focused export, okay, from Revit. Let me just show you what I mean. Let's say if I Ctrl P now and I preview, you see what we are seeing is mainly the floor plan. We don't have a lot of spaces around. But assuming that I am not cropping this region, like everything is open like this, and I hit Ctrl P on my keyboard, when I preview it, you're going to see it is not focused on the floor plan, which is why it is very important that you use your crop region to crop areas around your building, the plan that you want to export. So I'll just go ahead and export it now. Okay, you can come over here and set the quality to presentation so that it will give you a much higher resolution. Okay, you can change the size here, okay, to A3 if you want. Okay, and then say okay and preview. It is still going to look the same, but trust me, this PDF is now much bigger because it's no longer A4, which is letter. So I'm just going to say print, and I'm going to now say okay. I'm going to rename it and put it where I want it to be. Okay, and then add plan to it, and then say save, and then I hit OK, and that's it for that. Okay, it has exported. You can zoom in and you will see the floor plan. So I'm going to close this, and then we are going to head over to Photoshop where I show you what to do exactly. Alright, so now we are inside Photoshop. I want to create a new file, and in this file I'm going to show you what to do, how to create A3 sheets. Okay, we exported from Revit A3 sheet. Now we're going to import A3 sheet. So I'm going to do Ctrl N, okay, and I'm going to come down here to print, view all preset, see A3 sheets over here. I'm going to put it in landscape mode, and I'm going to say don't touch any other thing there, just say create. Okay, now I've created it. Let's go ahead and import. So I'm going to place embedded, okay, and I'm going to select the file that we just exported, and I'm going to say place. Okay, all right, yes, and as you can see, it is in here. But before we go further, before we do anything, I want to let's talk about some core concepts so you understand. When I refer to this thing, you understand what I mean. Okay, the first two things I want us to talk about are seamless textures and where to find them. Then after that, I'm going to show you how to confirm that what you have is a seamless texture. Okay, seamless textures are images that can be repeated without any visible seams or edges. Okay, they are designed to seamlessly blend into one another, creating the illusion of a larger texture that is not limited by the size of the original image. All right, so I'm going to bring in two images now, and I'm going to show you the difference between a seamless texture and the one that is not a seamless texture. Okay, so I'm going to go to my downloads. This one here, I'm just going to drag it into this place. Okay, this is an image I downloaded from Pinterest. You can get seamless texture from Pinterest. You can get it from your Google. Okay, but then it is not always. They might say it's seamless, but when you get it in here, you might find out that it's not seamless. Okay, by the time we're done with this, I'm going to be telling you where you can get a seamless texture. So I want to bring in another one. Okay, you can get all these textures. I'll put them. The link will be in the description, so do where to go and check them out. Now we'll drag this. Let me drag this one in. All right, as it is here. So like I told you, they blend into each other. Let's see if this one blends into each other. How to confirm whether this is a seamless texture is when you bring it into Photoshop, you go to filter, in order, you go to offset. Okay, let me zoom into this thing before I do this so we understand when it is not. Order, offset, Now, when I move this thing around, you're going to see that, can you see what's going on here? When you look at this place, you find out that it is not seamless. When I do the vertical one, okay, you can also see here that it's not perfectly joined. It is, showing somewhat, this line over here. So when you repeat this thing, okay, when you repeat it in softwares like Photoshop and everything, it is going to show and it's not going to be nice. Whereas this one over here, okay, let me zoom in a bit more. Let me zoom out because it's going to be confusing at some point. Okay, so offset. When I move it around, you see, you are not seeing any line anywhere. You are not, noticing anything anywhere. Can you see? So this is what a seamless texture means. Okay, you can repeat this thing as much as you want, and it is not going to show any seam or edge anywhere that is going to indicate that this is actually where this image started and this is where it ended. All right, so the place you can get a texture and be sure that what you have is a seamless texture is SketchUpTextureClub.com. I'm going to put the link in the description as well. Okay, so let me show you. When you come in here, of course, you're going to create, you're going to create an account. I have a lot of textures from bricks. Okay, from bricks to buildings to concrete, all these things, and they are all seamless. Okay, you can download them and install them and they will come in seamlessly, okay, into whatever you want to. You can use this thing for your renders. You can apply these textures, while doing renders and all that. So this, it has a lot of, can you see, it has a lot of texture library. So with this, you are okay. You don't even need any other one. You can get from Pinterest too, but you have to be very careful. You have to put it through the test that I just showed you now to ensure that what you have is truly a seamless texture. And also you can get from Google, but this is the main place, and I'm going to put the link for you in the description. All right, so now we got our texture. Okay, this one over here, we got it, and then I want to turn it to patterns. Okay, for us to do what we want to do over here in this place, we need to make these textures that we got into patterns. Okay, so how do we do that? You do Control A to select everything. You see, I have selected everything, and I'll go to edit. You see define pattern. Okay, when I click on this, I can now rename it to call it whatever I want. All right, so I'm going to call this floor wooden, okay, something very simple, floor finishes 01. You can call yours whatever you want to call. This is what I want to call mine, so I'm going to say okay. All right, when I say okay, it has saved. Okay, so let me show you let me show you where it has saved. So when I open patterns now, you're going to see it down here, inside here. Just stick with me. I'm going to do this thing some couple of times. I'm going to save in some patterns. Okay, the link to all these patterns and saving will be in the description, and it's totally free of charge. Go ahead and do the same thing. When we are done, I'm now going to take you back to the main topic of discourse, so we can do what it is that we came here to do. All right, so go ahead and do all these things. All right, so with what we have now, I think we have enough. Okay, so let's go ahead and start, rendering our floor plan with these textures that we have already exported. Okay, so how do we do that? Like we did the first time, we're going to select the spaces we want with the magic wand tool, and then we're going to apply this texture. But how do we do this? Okay, well, first of all, we're going to create a new layer, and then I'm going to call this one, because I want this living room and dining room to be together. I'm going to call it living room and dining. I'm going to have the same texture. Then hit the W key on your keyboard. It is going to activate your magic wand tool. If not, you might have to click and hold down or right click and then select your magic wand tool. Okay, when I do that, I am now going to select the spaces where I want to apply this material to. Okay, I'm now going to switch to marquee selection tool. Okay, and then I hold down Alt. If you are not being able to add to selection or remove to select from selection, you might want to put your settings here. Okay, this enables you to add to selection. This will always give you new selection. So what I do is I always keep mine here, and then when I want to remove from selection, I'll hold down Alt on my keyboard, and then I remove to the extent to which I want to remove, like this, because I don't like that thing going in there. Okay, so over here I am going to stop this one here too in the middle, and the same goes for this. Let me start here. Oh no. Just like that. Okay. Yes. Can always make corrections to this letter if we have a change of mind. Now we have already selected the area we want, but we don't go ahead and start like we did before. We just select the paint bucket tool and then we paint over here. We need to right click here and then go into the blending options. Now when we get into the blending option, I want you to check on this pattern overlay. Okay, check it on, make sure the blend mode is in multiply. Okay, as for the opacity, you can leave it at 100 or whatever you want. It doesn't really matter. Okay, you can always change the opacity from out here. Okay, but I'll leave this one at 100, and I'm going to change this pattern to this one. No, I'm going to change it to the white marble, the one I created. Okay, and then I'm going to come out of there, and then the scale, I'm going to leave the scale for now. We are going to adjust the layer. Now it's at 6%. This should work, but if it doesn't, let's say it is in the middle here, like yours might be, and I'll say okay. Here, the colors also matter. I like to keep mine at white, so you can come over here and change yours to white. Make sure the white is at the top. Okay, now I'm going to come over here, right click, and I'm going to select the paint bucket tool. Okay, select the paint bucket tool, and now I'm going to apply the marble in here. Now when I do that, you find out that the marble is too big. Okay, we can always adjust this, and I'm going to adjust it by coming over here and then reducing that in maybe back to, and as I'm reducing it, you are seeing it happen there in real time. Okay, reduce it back to say 6. Okay, and I'll say okay, and then I can come over here and make it 75, reduce it to 75 like that, and Control D to deselect everything. Okay, you can see how sharp and crisp the selection is. You can come in here and reduce the opacity even further. Like I said, it does the same thing as the one out there, so it doesn't really matter. You can always reduce it more from here. You can make it 50 from here, but 75 is cool. Let me see, and I think we might have to. Okay, I think it's fine. I think it's fine. I think it's cool. Now I'm going to do the same thing for the lobby. Okay, I want the lobby and anteroom to have the same texture, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to use the magic wand to select this place like so, add this text. Okay, remove this just like that. I need to, yeah, just like that. So I'm going to also add this part to the equation, just like that. I am going to add also this part with the magic wand too. Okay, then add the remaining part that in, enter, also with the magic wand too. I can choose to remove this with also the magic wand too. W on your keyboard, sorry, hold Alt, and you remove the door area with the magic wand too. Then I'm going to add this area too, just like that, with the marquee selection too, and then this. Okay. Yeah. going to add to this edge with the marquee selection tool, then pick my magic wand tool and remove this wooden area. That's the door wooden area. Then with the marquee selection tool, I'm also going to remove this area right here. Just like that. Yes. Okay. Oh, I thought I removed this thing before. I'm going to remove it again. Going to remove it again. So now let me apply the next one. I'm going to add a new layer, right click, go to blending option, and I'm going to go to pattern, and I'm going to change this to say this one or this one. Okay, let me use that one. Then I'll use the G, that's a paint bucket tool, and I apply it on this. Okay, and I come over here and I change it to multiply. Okay, when I do that, you see how it comes out very neat, very sweet. And I'm going to hit Ctrl D. Now I can come over here and reduce the opacity as well. Now when you look here, you find out that we have some, let me see, you find out that we have some overlay here which we do not like. Okay, so how do we do that? We can remove that very easily. You can just use a marquee selection to select that area like so, and then hit the delete. Make sure that you're selecting the layer that has this wooden texture on it, and then hit the delete key. That removes it. So that becomes a way in which you can make your corrections, okay, in places that you missed it. All right, so as you can see, we have that. Now I want to quickly add a pattern here. Okay, I do not want to start deselecting that door area, so I'm just going to add it like so. Then I'm going to call this the lobby. Okay, go to my blending option, add the pattern. I'm going to change this to this, and I'm going to say okay, and I'm going to apply this to that area. Now this appears to be very small for me, so I'm going to go to the pattern overlay, and I'm going to increase this a little bit. Yes, I'm going to say okay. I'm going to multiply it, and I'm going to put this to 50. Okay, now to make it less, I'll make it 60. Can have the same thing over here on this area where we are having this concrete pattern, and then have it all over the place like that. Okay, I might have to increase the size of this a little bit like I did that other one, since it might be a bit too small. Make it 15, and then I say okay, that doesn't look bad at all. So the bedrooms are going to have the same floor tiles, and I'm going to use that one that we got from SketchUp Texture Club. All right, so that is basically it. I'm just gonna make the selection where I want them, and then I'm going to remove this wooden area, then this place too. I'm going to remove it. Just like that. So in this area where we have this master bed coming out, so I'm just going to add this part of the text, add it into the equation, and then I'm going to remove this stuff from being part of the place where we're going to add the texture. So I'm going to create new one, and I call this one bedrooms. And I'll right click and go to blending option. I'm going to add patterns. I'm going to change this to this. Then I'll say okay. And I'll hit my G on the keyboard to add this. Alright, I'm going to change this to multiply. I'm going to reduce this to 50. I'm going to go and adjust the scale. See, I think the scale made it look a bit better. Now we have this. So the next thing I want to do is to apply texture to the kitchen area. So I'm going to do that like so, and I'm going to add this part using this marquee selection tool. I'm going to add it like so. We're going to be taking care of that with the multiply, the multiply blend option, blend mode, inside here. Drop this in there, you're going to see the multiply blend option. So so I'm going to select the magic wand tool by hitting W on my keyboard, this one here, and I'm going to hold Alt to add the door, to remove the door from being selected. So I'm going to come over here too, and I'm going to remove this just like that. And I'm going to remove this door. In fact, I'm going to give it the same door. I'm going to give it the same floor finishes as the kitchen. So I'm going to do it like that. So I'm going to add a layer, rename it to kitchen. Kitchen. And then blend options, pattern overlay. I'm going to change this to this first one, and I'm going to say okay, and I'm going to hit G on my keyboard to select the paint bucket tool, and I'm going to apply this to this. Now when I do that, you find out that it's very big. That is because this texture and this texture are gotten from different places. So I'm going to edit this, and I'm going to reduce this to like 15. To like 6. I think 6 is perfect for it, and I'm going to say okay, and then I'm going to change this to multiply. I'm going to change it to 16. When I do that, everything is showing, and I'll hit Ctrl D, and as you can see, we have our floor finishes for the kitchen. I'm going to change it to 50 or 75. Now, if you have time, you can go ahead and add additional textures to the furnitures in here. But for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm going to leave them as white because I believe by now you know how to do that. If you want to do that, you just have to select this furniture using the marquee selection tool or whatever, and then get maybe texture from the SketchUp textureclub.com. The link will be in the description, and then you texture your stuff, your fabrics, your wooden, your porcelain, everything that you might want to texture the way you want to texture them. But for now, let's go ahead and add a texture to the toilets. Because they are the same thing, I'm going to add the same texture all over the place, for them. Sorry, I'm just gonna use the magic wand tool to select the rest. So what I'm doing basically is when I come in here, I will just select this door area like that, and then I use magic wand to select the rest. Magic wand makes it so easy to select these things. Then I will use my, when I select what, I will select magic wand again, and then remove this door area. like I always do. Then I want to add this shower or bathroom that is written on the floor over there. Okay, so let me go ahead and select the entrance bathroom too. Okay, so yeah. Okay. Okay, so I'm done selecting it. I'll create a new layer. I'm going to call this toilets. I'm going to right click on this place and I'm going to bring in the blending option and then the pattern. And I'm going to select this and I'm going to hit OK. And I hit G on my keyboard to select my paint bucket too. And I'm going to apply it there. Okay. Now I have to go back in there to make it a little bit big. Oh, that is so big. Okay, and I'm gonna hit OK, and then I'll come over here and set it to multiply, and then undo by hitting Ctrl D. That will deselect everything from here. Okay, now I'm gonna zoom out, and there we have it. Okay, now I'm going to add this place to the greenery. So sorry, I'm gonna select not the greenery, sorry, to the exterior part by using the magic wand tool, selecting this, and then okay, wand, and using the alt. All right. Yes, and also I'll add this part. If you want to add to the texture, like I want to add to this other texture, you don't need to do anything again. You just have to select that texture, hit G on your keyboard, and add to it. Okay, it is going to add because you applied the pattern to the layer. So all you have to do is select that layer and apply that same pattern to it. All right, so I am going to select this place and I'm going to add green area to it. That's the green. You can go and download grass, texture from seamless grass texture. Okay, and then you use G on your keyboard. Okay, I'm going to create a new layer and I'm going to go to blend option, go to pattern. I'm going to select grass now. I think I have one here. And I'm going to use G on my keyboard and apply them to that area. And I'm going to reduce the opacity to 75. Okay, Control D. All right, so now I want to quickly add some shadows to this, okay, like I did before. So I'm going to hit Ctrl J on my keyboard. I'm going to select this. I'm going to nudge it out a little bit, okay, just a little bit, like so. I'm going to apply a blur, a Gaussian blur to it, then say OK. I'm going to move it back just a little bit. Then I'm going to set it to multiply. Okay. Oh. Set it to multiply. I'm going to select that again. I'm going to move it in a little bit. Just like that. I'm going to do Ctrl J. Sorry, this one I'm going to leave at 100. I'm going to do Ctrl J to duplicate it. Okay. I'm going to select this one and I'm going to move it out even more. Nudge it down even more. I'm going to reduce the opacity of this one to 50. Okay. Reduce it to 50. All right. But I think I will have to reduce it more to like 35. I'm going to apply the layer mask and I'm going to clean out the part that I don't want. Okay, so I'm going to use the brush tool now and then clean out the part that I do not want. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing over here. Okay, and get rid of everything. So I just held down the alternate key and then I dragged it up here, and that got rid of this got rid of the unwanted shadows in areas where we don't want them at all. Okay, and that's cool. Okay, I'll just go over them again to make sure that we got everything correctly the way we want it, the way I want it in this case now. Okay, I'm going to change this to multiply, and then I'm going to come back here and turn this thing. Okay, and turn it back on. All right, so there you have it. You can go ahead and add some greeneries around here. In the next tutorial, I will be showing you how to create trees and add them to this video. All right, so I hope you like this video and have learned something from it. Now, let me know if you have any issues, or questions about anything in the comment section below. Before you leave, do consider supporting this channel by becoming a channel member. You can click on the join button below to know more. Your support will help me so I can keep creating such valuable content for you. All right, that's it for this video. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so, like this video and share it with your friends. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.